Hello everyone, my name is RetroBoy03, and hey, do you all remember around a month ago, less than a month, a few weeks ago, when I reviewed like 10 MOCs in 1 week? Now I'm gonna have to pay the consequences for doing it so quickly, because now I'm going to have to show you how to build 9 MOCs before I get on to doing any of the other videos I'd like to do. Maybe that sounds a bit bitter, which wasn't really my intention. I mean, I don't mind doing this. I mean, I wouldn't have reviewed or even built the MOCs if I didn't want to show you guys how to build them, but yeah. This is pretty much these are pretty much going to be taking over my channel for the next few weeks, but without further ado, let's just get into how to build this model that I think was like the Egg Viper at Final Egg Control Center. Is that what I called it? That's probably what I called it. Anyway, let's take a look at it and how to build it. So first off is just this little cape stand, well, not really cape stand, but a little stand for the waist cape, or the coattails, whatever you want to call them, of Egghead. As you can see, it's just 3 pieces, a 1x2 brick with studs on one side, the cape itself to hold in there, and then just a 1x3 tile to just lock it together. And that's all she wrote. Now let's move on to the base. So here we have the Final Egg Control Center, and I'm going to be taking it apart piece by piece to show you how to build it. Okay, so starting off, here are all the pieces you're going to need to build the left side of the base. So to start off here, you're going to need this 1x2 brick with an axle hole, and you're going to put on top of that a light bluish gray 2x4. Then you're going to need this white 2x6 and this dark bluish gray 2x4 with the Technic holes. And really, you could switch these two around. I just think it looks better like this, but it could work either way. Then on the end of this, you're going to take these two, well, wait, no, actually, they don't go on top. You're going to, underneath of there, you're going to attach these two, well, I don't really know what these pieces are called, but these curved pieces. Then under there, to sort of fill that in, you're going to take 2 silver studs and a white 1x2. Then on the side, you're going to attach this black bracket piece as well as this 1x2. On the side, you're going to take this little plating piece from the mech with this chicken sticker to sort of use as a sign to show what part of the base this is. Then you'll take this grooved 2x2 cylindrical brick and take your white chicken and put it on top of here. Then you're going to attach on this little 1x1 round tile, and then to sort of have the stand for our egg explosives, we're going to attach this black R4, well actually no, R5 droid head from Star Wars, which obviously isn't used in this head as an astromech droid head, but that's the part it actually is in actuality. That's what it's supposed to be. But then a black stud with a 1x1 bar hole, then put in a 3 long gray bar. Then you're going to need to make 3 sub-assemblies. That's just, each was just being an egg with a black clip on top. Just make 3 of those, so you can then just attach them onto this little stand right here. And just sort of have your 3 stacked up eggs. So yeah, so now let's move on to the other side of the platform. Well, I mean, before we move on to building that side, first we should probably build the elevator, which I've decided is basically like, it's such a large build that it gets its own section. Pretty simple, but also large. So start off, you're going to need these 2 ball joint pieces, connect them together, then 2x2 tile, put another ball receiver piece over here. Well, ball socket is a better term, but anyway, then you're going to put on this 2x2 yellowy orange tile to flatten that out. Then you're going to put in this Technic ball piece. as well as this blue half pin, half axle. Set that off to the side for a second. Next section you're going to need this little white piece, a 2x2 in red, 2 1x2 Technic bricks. Then you're going to need 2 of these pieces in white, as well as 2 in gray. Then on the front you're going to attach on this piece, set that off to the side. Then for the main, I guess, carriage of the elevator, I don't know what you really call it, like the elevator car, I mean, I don't know. This is just sort of a weird build. I just came up with a few extra pieces. So anyway, 2x2 with these pieces underneath on each side. Attach this 2x2 with the Technic pin coming out the bottom. Then you're going to build 2 of these assemblies to just sort of create railings for the sides of the elevator. Attach those as such, and I mean, now that I think of it, maybe this shouldn't be an elevator. I don't know what you'd call it. Just sort of like, I mean, I guess elevator is the best term, but it could also just be like a platform. Anyway, attach this into here, and then attach the pin into there. So that's the elevator assembly. Now let's build the rest of the right half of the base. Well, it turns out that for the second time in this video, I was wrong about moving on, because we also have this little side build to go in that section for the Beat-O-Matic defense turret. So to start off, you're going to need this grooved 2x2, and you're going to need to, if I can pick it up, everything is breaking. You're going to need to take this little half pin, half axle, and put it into this piece, as well as a pin with stud on one end. Put that into here. Then on top of the stud, you're going to attach on this piece, the white cone, this trans orange beam, the bowl piece, and then you're going to need to take this piece with the 3 triangularly, well, not triangular, but you know, the 3 axles coming off of it, and then on each pin you're going to need to attach on one of these pieces. Just to, you know, sort of create like a bit of an egg beater design with the 3 prongs. Like, it's not exactly what it should be, but I think it works pretty well. We'll just lay that on its side for now. And now, let's move on to the right side of the build, for real this time. So here are the pieces you're going to need to create the right side of the control center. So it's going to be pretty similar to the left side, so you're going to start with these 3 pieces, add on the 2x4, these 2 curvy pieces, if I can get it on there, you have the silver studs, if I can just, there we go, and the 1x2, but then you also get the bracket, this time with the Beat-O-Matic sticker on the side, which is why I created the little turret in the first place, so that sticker meant something. 1x2, as well as this little round 1x1 tile. Things change here, though, because then you take this piece with the studs on one end, the, whatever you call this. I really don't know the name of most of these pieces, but anyway, 1x2 with studs. We're going to put that towards the back. Then towards the front, we're going to attach on this little 1x2 bracket. And then we'll just attach on these little T-bar pieces here to act as like controls for the turret, which we can then attach here to the 4 open studs. And then the elevator attaches to these 4 studs at the back. So now we have both sections, so now let's go on to the center, which is probably the most simple thing I'll be showing you today, but it's still important. So here are the pieces you're going to need to build the center of the base. So start off with this little, I seriously have no idea what any of these pieces are called, but Disson. Then take the half pin, half axle, 2x2 cylindrical brick on top. Then on each side, we'll put in a 2-long axle piece, which is how this will connect together the 2 sides. Then we're going to need 2 2x4 plates. Then these 2 big glass pieces, because this center section is actually a prison cell for Batman, although I won't put him in now. And then on top, you just attach on the little dome piece. So that's the center, and now you just put each axle into one of the receivers that we have on each side, and that's the control center. So now let's move on to the Egg Viper itself. So here we have the Egg Viper, and just like the control center, I will be splitting this up into several different parts to make it easier to show you how to build. So here we have the majority of the Egg Viper's tail, and to start you're going to need to build 2 of these assemblies. So you're just going to take one of these ball joint pieces, attach one of those into the back, and attach one to the front. Set those off to the side. Then you're going to need to take this double ball joint piece, attach on a red 2x2 round plate, put in this 4-long red axle. On top of that, you're going to attach this 4x4 brick. On each side, left and right, you're going to put in 1 axle pin. On top, you'll put in on this printed free-range disc, as well as this yellow radar dish piece. And now you're going to push the axle in as far in as it goes. It doesn't go all the way in, but it goes pretty close, and it is actually, like, just having it resting above on that pin does give it a little bit of an effect, like it's hovering, so that's good. And then on each side, you'll just attach one of these 2x2 printed egg tiles, which are extra ammunition for something I'll show you in a minute. And then you'll just attach one of these little sub-assemblies onto each side of the ball joint, and we'll go back to that in a minute. So now I'll show you how to build the back of the tail, as well as the rear defense gun. So to start off on the back of the tail, we're going to take this 2x4 and attach on a ball joint piece, as well as this grooved 2x2 brick. Then we're going to take this 4x4 round plate, and then on that we're going to put on this disc shooter piece, 2 silver studs, these 2 flame orange pieces, and then at the back we're going to take this 1x2 brick with a pinhole and put in this axle with the stopper on one end. Put that in there. Then we're going to take a 2x3 plate, 1x2 plate, top it off with this piece. And then we're going to, in the 2x2 available space, we'll take a red stud and this little 2x2 dish and put that in there. And then in the disc shooter piece, we'll just put in this egg, so when you push in the plunger, it'll fire that piece out. And now you can just attach this piece onto there. So now we have the tail. So now let's move on to the core of the build itself, or more accurately, we'll start moving towards building the core of the build itself. To start off, we're going to make 2 identical sub-assemblies. You're going to need a 1x2 brick with a pinhole, a jumper, a red stud, a 3x3 white radar dish, and a 2x2 gray radar dish, and you just make 2 of those. Next off, I actually have to show you Condiment King, because for this build, I probably should have mentioned earlier, you need to get rid of his backpack and just replace it with this little neck brace that has just 1 yellow stud and 1 red stud on it, just be a bit of ammo for, well, what I'm about to show you. Okay, so we're going to take this 2x4 plate in gray, attach on this piece, which will be sort of the Condiment King's gunner position, his chair. Then you're just going to attach on these 2 black barb pieces, which will act as his control yokes. Then under here, you're going to take these two brackets, put one on each side. Also attach this ball joint receiver. Then over here, on each side, you're going to attach on one piece. So here we're going to attach on a yellow stud on this astromech head, and over here we'll put on a red stud. So, and, well, actually, I don't know why I set that off to the side, because we're immediately grabbing it again. Then we're going to take this yellow cylinder and this red cylinder. Make sure to keep the colors correctly positioned. Then we're going to take these two 1x2s that have a clip in place of one of the studs. Attach that on, and then on each of those we're going to attach one of these pieces. These will come in later. And actually, I goofed it up. The seat actually goes here, so switch that around, and then under here you're just going to attach this red piece, and this yellow piece, and this flame orange 1x2. So that's that, and now let's move on to the next section. Next up, we have these two stud gun assemblies. These are very simple. Just take a pin with a ball joint on one side, this 1x2 double axle receiver, and then just a stud shooter, black stud with a bar hole, and then just a whip. Then invert that. The only difference is you change the stud color. Set those off to the side. Next up here, we have another sub-assembly. You're going to take this piece and attach its complement into it. Then you're going to make a stack of 2 red studs and a stack of 2 silver studs. Then you're going to attach on this piece in flame orange and this piece in white, and top it off with a silver grate. And you're also going to build a mirrored version of that. So next we have a few more very small sub-assemblies. We just have 2 of these little builds. That is just a 1x2 Technic brick with a trans orange stud with a bar hole, as well as a gray clip. Set those off to the side, and then you also have this build, which is a 2x8 plate, 2 flame orange 2x4s, 2 black 1x3s, and 2 red studs. And now I believe we should be moving on to the core of the ship itself, unless I've missed something. So, starting off here, we're going to take this 2x10 black plate. We're going to attach on these 2 1x2s with a clip in place of 1 stud. Then we're going to take this white 1x2, 2 red studs. Then we're going to take, on top of each of those studs, we're going to attach 1 light bluish gray clip piece. On that, we're going to put in a T-bar and just this steering wheel piece. Onto those clips, we'll attach the vehicle's large egg-shaped cockpit piece. And then in front of that steering wheel, we're going to attach on a silver grate and a 1x6 plate. And then underneath there, we're going to put on 2 tan 1x4 plates. Put that off to the side. Okay, so for the final section of this build, we're going to start with these 2 light tan 1x4s and this white 1x6. Set that off to the side for a second. Then we're going to take this 1x4 and a dark tan 1x6 and dark tan 1x4 blick. And then we're going to put on these 2 1x3s. Then we're going to put on the 1x6, and then we'll also put on these bits. We'll attach this piece here, and then on the sides, we'll just have these 2 large pieces here. This will all then attach onto here. Then we'll take Condiment King's seat. That all attaches onto the back here. Wait, this piece came off. Okay. Then we're going to take this assembly, attach it as such. We'll take these two pieces, put them here and here. Now these create sort of the controls for the vehicle. We'll take these two sub-assemblies, put them on the front to sort of continue the rounded shape. Take these assemblies. These become sort of like saw weapons at the front, or at least the tops of them do. And then on the back, we just put in the tail. And then on each side, you just take the stud shooters, attach the barb of the whip into each of these pieces, attach the ball joint into the receiver. Do the same on the other side. Give me a second, that just came off of there. And that is your vehicle. You can then just sit the Condiment King in his position, get the little yokes into his hands, open up the cockpit, fold off the steering wheel, and then you can just sit Egghead in there on the grill and that 1x2. He's pretty loose in there, but then you put on the steering wheel, which locks him in. Fold the canopy back over him. So that is your vehicle, and that is also the entirety of the what I call it, the Egg Viper at Final Egg Control Center. Yeah, that. So it's done. I've shown you how to build it. Now you can build it yourself if you like it. If you don't like it, that's just too bad. Thank you all so much for watching, and if there's one of the other MOCs I built at the end of February that you'd really like to see me show you how to build next, please comment that down in the comment section down below. Thank you all so much for watching, and I will see all of you in my next video. Farewell.